Hello friends, today we are making a dolphin with seaweed using Inktense pencils by Derwent and Ohuhu water brush pens from Amazon. I'm using a Santorini stone, and I have my handy dandy wipe rag. That's just an old rag that I had that got a stain on it, so I dedicated that to watercolor painting. Taking a variety of blues, and I'm just doing lightest to darkest, or at least that's what I think, because I did not do any color swatching, which would be really helpful at this point, but I've got enough on my dining room table that I just kind of wing it. If you're unsure about colors, a really nice thing to do is get a piece of paper and do a color swatch so you can see what they actually look like, because sometimes the color on the top of the pencil is not exactly the way that it comes out. I've used these since 2018, so I kind of have a pretty good idea about the basic colors, but as far as like browns and ones that I don't use often, I'm not too sure about those. So I'm just taking my water brush pen and I'm going down. I like to start with the lightest color because the darker colors will sometimes eat up the lightest color, and then you will miss out on the bright color that the light hues give you. So I've got navy blue here at the bottom, and you're going to see me go back because it's not quite dark enough. And of course I'm just winging it here, and you can make it lighter or darker, whichever you choose. I'm going to add a little bit more just to give it a little bit more dark color here at the bottom, because after all, we are painting the ocean. It's darker at the bottom. There we go. Gonna wipe that off, and let's let that dry. And I sketched out my dolphin on paper. I'm just searching for the center of the stone here with my pencil, and then I'm going in. Also, when you're penciling over top of Inktense, don't go really hard on your pencil, because when you erase vigorously, you'll take some of your pencil off. So I just did a basic sketch of my dolphin. Can you skip this step? Of course you can. Doing a white chalk paint here. This is going to make my paint colors over top super bright, super noticeable. You don't have to do this. I just use the white chalk paint as a base whenever I'm going for bright. Using kind of darker colors, so you don't really have to do this step, but I do. Chalk paint is so helpful. It's probably the best tool that I have. Just going to go over the body here, and I don't need a whole bunch of coats. I'm just doing a transparent thin one. It's not completely and utterly white, but this will give me a really nice base for my paints. And this is a mixed media, since we're using all kinds of different stuff on here. So here's where I thought that I didn't video this part, but I actually did. So I had to crop it, and for some, I don't know what happened here. It's probably user error. I have 3 blues and a white, so I squeezed all of those out on the paper towel or paper plate that you cannot see. I'm gonna kind of blend these colors to make them the way that I want them. I'm not going for a realistic look here, because I'm definitely not a realistic painter. I am an abstract artist, so none of my things are going to be lifelike. Of course, there's some fantastic artists out there that can make paintings that look exactly like photos. I'm definitely not one of them, and I'm okay with that. I just like to have fun. It comes out how it comes out. There's no grading or judging, so, you know, have fun with it. Doing the lightest colors on the dolphin at the bottom, and I'm doing the darkest colors at the top, kind of in reverse with my pencils here. If I don't have the hue that I want, and sorry, this is off camera, I don't know what I did here, but I did something. If you don't have the color that you want, you can add white or black. If you're using black to add to your colors, make sure it's a teeny tiny amount, because that black takes over quick. I didn't have a black here, but I did have a seriously dark blue, which I used in place of the black, because I wanted to stay on a blue hue. Now that I have a darker to medium blue, I'm going to go with the tail and the fins and the flippers, because I don't want the darkest color on those. Of course, if you do that, that would probably be fine too. This is just my choice. I'm kind of winging it. My inspiration, believe it or not, were prints that you can purchase to hang on your wall from Lowe's. Didn't know that Lowe's had ocean prints, but found that out when I was looking through Pinterest for ideas. So now I'm going to do the darkest tone here at the top. I've mixed that up because I've decided that the darkest blue that I pulled was a little bit too harsh because my background was so light. And here's the little video that I made to show you because I thought I didn't film the first part. So way to go, Shelly. You can see my little mixes of paint, and I just kept adding dark to that big part, whatever you want to call it there, and just kept adding as I went. Now I have two green Posca pens. Of course, this green is pretty light, so let's go over that one more time. I'm just making wavy lines. There's no rhyme or reason to seaweed. There's tons of different varieties. You can pick whichever one you want to, but I was in a little bit of a frenzy yesterday, so I picked a pretty easy one. So I'm just going to the right of the light green with the dark green, so both colors show through. Just gonna make some little seaweed on both sides of him. Super cute, pretty easy. Kids can even do this one. This is totally beginner type of seaweed. So I'm using a Uniball Angelic pen. You can type this into Amazon to find your buying options. Just going all the way around my Dolphin just to give it a little bright edge. Or any white paint pen that you have. And I'm really trying to not stick my hands in the seaweed and make a big mess because I'm pretty good at that. So let's blend up some different colors to do some shading. We're going to do some water reflection on the top. And I'm also going to fix up this little part here so I can add his eye. Just kind of smushing that in with my finger. Katie is well known for the finger smush. Just going to add a little detail to his tails just so it's not flat. And I have my Thule Art fine liners. For some reason, my favorite is number 3. I'm just going to go around my white edge here and just make the dolphin stand out. There we go. Let's give him a little eye and put a little white dot in the center. I didn't want to make a giant eye because I'm not going for realism. Alrighty, so we're working on our water reflection, and this is a great chance if you don't like the blend on your blues to kind of mask some of that. I was happy with the way mine turned out, but I figured I would give him some little water reflections because that's how it shows when they're underwater. Now, last step, we have holographic illusions from Deco Art. Of course, I let my paint dry. I'm just going to go over this with some glitter paint, and of course, to protect the environment, I'm going to seal in resin so that glitter does not leak into the environment. This is a fun little painting. Of course, it's not realistic, but I think that it would be well liked. I'm going to pop it into my community, see who finds it. I'm excited. Hopefully, it'll be a little kid that likes dolphins. Glitter, glitter, glitter. Of course, you can glitter your water or your seaweed or whatever you want to. Glitter the whole daggone thing if you want to. It's your art. Have fun with it. Enjoy your painting. It's all about having fun. Thanks so much for joining me, and have fun.